Welcome to Reddit Affairs, the place where secrets are revealed and hearts are broken. Sit back, relax, and let this story take you on an emotional ride. And remember, if you love deep, dramatic stories, don't forget to subscribe and support the channel. I never thought my marriage would end because of a phone call from my own son. For 12 years, I believe I was the luckiest man alive. A steady job, a warm home, and a wife I truly adored. Her name is Emily. She was everything I thought love was supposed to be. Kind, funny, full of light. We had our fights, of course, but I always thought we were solid. I never doubted her, not even once. Until that night. It was a Tuesday. I remember because I was working late trying to finish a project that my boss had been breathing down my neck about. Around 9:30 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was my son, Tyler. He's 16. I thought he was calling because he needed help with homework or wanted to borrow the car. But his voice, it wasn't normal. It was shaking. "Dad, can you come home?" he whispered. "Something's wrong." My stomach dropped instantly. I asked him if he was hurt, but he didn't answer. Just silence and a quiet, broken sound, like he didn't know how to say what he needed to. I drove home faster than I should have. When I pulled into the driveway, I noticed something strange. Emily's car was there, but the living room lights were off. Tyler was standing at the top of the stairs when I walked in. His eyes were red. He looked like he'd been crying. He didn't say a word. He just pointed upstairs. At first, I didn't understand. Then I heard it. A sound I can't erase from my head, no matter how hard I try. A low, breathy laugh. Her laugh. Emily's laugh. But it wasn't for me this time. I opened our bedroom door and my world stopped. There she was, my wife, tangled in sheets with someone half her age. At first, I couldn't process who it was. My mind refused to accept it. Then I saw his face. It was Evan, one of Tyler's friends. The same kid who used to sit at our dinner table, laugh at my jokes, call me Mr. Williams. For a few seconds, none of us spoke. Emily gasped and scrambled for a blanket, while Evan just froze, pale and shaking. I didn't yell. I didn't move. I just stared at them, and felt everything inside me collapse. Tyler must have followed me because I heard her behind me, choking on tears. That sound broke me more than what I saw. No kid should have to witness that. Emily started crying, saying it just happened, that it was a mistake. But I couldn't even look at her. I walked out of the room, out of the house, and sat in my truck for what felt like hours. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. The betrayal was bad enough. But the fact that it came from inside my home, from someone my son trusted, that was unforgivable. That night, I slept in a motel. I didn't call her. I didn't text. I just stared at the ceiling, trying to understand how the woman I loved could destroy everything we built. The next morning, I went back home to pick up some things. She was sitting in the kitchen, still wearing his hoodie. Her eyes were swollen. She started talking the moment I walked in. It didn't mean anything. I was lonely. You've been distant lately. Excuses. All I heard were excuses. But when I looked at her, I didn't see my wife anymore. I saw a stranger who used my son's friend to fill whatever emptiness she had inside. I told her to pack her things and leave. Tyler didn't say a word to her. He just stared out the window, his jaw tight. I could see the hatred building in him, not just toward her, but toward love itself. And that's when I realized her betrayal didn't just destroy me. It broke our son, too. It's been a week since that night, and the silence in the house feels heavier than any argument we ever had. Emily moved out 3 days ago. She's staying with her sister, or at least that's what she told me in the one short text she sent. I didn't reply. There's nothing left to say. I still wake up every morning expecting to smell her coffee brewing downstairs. It's muscle memory. 12 years of routine doesn't disappear overnight. Sometimes I still catch myself reaching for her side of the bed, only feel the cold sheets and remember why it's empty. Tyler hasn't spoken much. He goes straight to school, comes home, locks himself in his room. I try to check on him, but all he ever says is, "I'm fine, Dad." But he's not fine. None of us are. Yesterday, I found him sitting in the garage, staring at the photo of the three of us from last summer, the one we took at the beach. Emily's head was resting on my shoulder, Tyler laughing between us. For a second, I saw it, the family we used to be. Then I saw his hands trembling, and before I could say anything, he tore the photo in half. "I hate her," he whispered. "I hate her for what she did to you." To me, what do you even say to that? How you explain to your son that the person who gave him life is also the reason everything fell apart? I told him that hate doesn't help, that it'll only eat him up inside. But he just looked at me and said, "Then why do you look like you hate her too?" And maybe I do. Maybe a part of me really does. I've been replaying everything in my head. All the late nights she said she was at the gym. All the times she was too tired for dinner, too distracted to talk. The red flags were there, waving right in front of me, and I ignored every single one because I trusted her, because I believed love meant never doubting the person you share a bed with. A few days ago, Evan's mother came by. She stood on my porch, eyes full of shame, apologizing over and over for what her son did. I could barely look at her. She said Evan was just confused, that Emily took advantage of him. Maybe she's right, maybe she's not. But either way, I told her to keep him away from my house and from my son. That night, Tyler came into my room for the first time since everything happened. He didn't say much, just sat on the edge of the bed and asked, "Are we going to be okay?" I didn't have an answer. I told him we'd try. But even saying it felt like lying, because how do you rebuild a home when the foundation is gone? I went through our photos yesterday, thousands of them stored on my phone. Every smile, every vacation, every fake, perfect moment. I couldn't bring myself to delete them. Not yet. I guess part of me is still clinging to the ghost of the woman I married, not the one who destroyed us. Last night, Emily called. It was the first time I heard her voice since she left. She sounded small, weak. She said she was sorry, that she messed up, that she misses us. I didn't yell. I just told her she broke something that can't be fixed. Then she asked if Tyler could talk to her. I told her no. Not yet. He's not ready. The silence that followed was long. Too long. Then she said something that chilled me. I don't know if I can live with what I've done. For a moment, I didn't know if she was being dramatic or she meant it. But before I could ask, she hung up. Now I'm sitting here, staring at my phone, wondering if I should call her back, wondering if I should still care. Because no matter how much she hurt me, no matter how much I want to hate her, a part of me still loves her. And I don't know what that says about me. It's been 2 weeks since Emily called. I haven't heard from her since. I told myself I wouldn't reach out, that she made her choice, and I needed to live with mine. But every night, I still check my phone before bed. Some pathetic part of me hopes I'll see her name pop up again, that she'll say she's sorry one more time, that she's still here. But she isn't. On Sunday morning, there was a knock on the door. It was her sister, Rachel. I could tell something was wrong the moment I saw her face. Pale, trembling, eyes swollen. She didn't even say hello. "Mark," she whispered. "Emily's gone." At first, I didn't understand. Gone where? I asked if she moved out of her sister's place. If she left town. But then Rachel broke down, and the words came out like shards of glass. She took her own life. The room started spinning. I remember gripping the counter, because my legs went weak. The sound that came out of me didn't feel human. Rachel said they found her in a small motel outside the city. No note, just her wedding ring on the nightstand, next to a photo of me and Tyler. I don't remember much after that. I sat on the floor for hours, maybe longer. I couldn't cry. I couldn't scream. I just kept thinking about the last thing she said on the phone. I don't know if I can live with what I've done. And I didn't listen. Tyler found out later that day. He didn't say anything. He just stood there, staring at the floor. Then quietly he asked, "Does this mean she's really gone?" I nodded. He walked to his room, shut the door, and didn't come out for the rest of the night. That was 3 days ago. Since then, our house feels like a museum of ghosts. Her perfume still lingers in the closet, her handwriting on sticky notes around the fridge. I tried throwing some things away. But every time I do, it feels like I'm erasing her completely. And despite everything she did, I can't do that. I went to the motel Yesterday. I don't even know why. Maybe to see where she spent her last moments. The room was small, empty, cold. The manager said she checked in alone. I stood there, staring at the bed, imagining her sitting there, alone, crying, broken by the mess she created. I wanted to hate her. I really did. But all I could feel was sadness. When I got home, I found Tyler sitting on the porch. He was holding that torn family photo, the same one he ripped in half. But now, he'd taped it back together. He looked at me and said, I didn't want her last memory of us to be broken. I broke down for the first time since she died. We sat there for hours, crying together. Father and son, holding on to the pieces of someone who destroyed us but also made us who we are. People online always say that time heals everything. That's a lie. Some wounds don't heal. They just become part of who you are. I still don't understand why she did it. Maybe she was lonely. Maybe she hated herself for what happened. Maybe she just couldn't bear to face what she'd done to us. But I do know one thing. Love and betrayal, they're two sides of the same blade. And once it cuts you, you never really stop bleeding. Every night now, before I go to sleep, I whisper goodnight to an empty room. Not because I forgive her, but because part of me still wishes she were here, if only so I could tell her one last time how much she broke us.